All right, we're gonna go for a ride in the 1992 Puch, Steyr Daimler Puch Mercedes G Wagen. Gonna put the window up on my side just a little bit. This is an ex-Swiss Army vehicle, imported in 1992. It's got a clean and clear Pennsylvania title. It's a 4-cylinder automatic transmission. I'll put the window all the way up. Approaching 100 kilometers per hour, and that's where we'll have our last shift, right there. So now we're in 4th gear. It's a 4-cylinder 2.3 liter gasoline engine, fuel injected, about 123 horsepower. Truck's a little over 2 tons in overall weight. Just remember that's almost twice as much horsepower as an air-cooled Volkswagen Vanagon, if it makes you feel any better. I've put a couple hundred miles on this vehicle over the past 4 or 5 days, and it's really a lot of fun. 80 kilometers, 90, there's 100, just a little under 100, and there's our last shift. So it shifts into 4th at about 100 kilometers. It's a really great seating position, and these seats, while pretty Spartan like the rest of the truck, are really comfortable and supportive. It's just smooth and easy. I've always thought of G Wagons as pretty rough vehicles in terms of suspension. It's like driving a Jeep Rubicon or something, but this is actually a very pleasant, and it's not what I expected. It's very smooth, goes down the road nicely. There's not a shred of insulation of any kind in here between you and the engine, or it's just all metal floors. There is a thin rubber mat over the transmission tunnel, but you're kind of out here in the elements. Cruising at about 90 kilometers per hour here. And I'll do a walk around, and you can have a look at the fold-down bench seats in the back. Probably fit 6 fat Americans, or 6 fat Americans, or 8 Swiss soldiers who are in shape with all their gear in the back. We've got a jerry can on the back. There's a really cool little toolbox under the driver's seat. There's a toolbox behind the passenger seat with some interesting stuff in it that we'll show you. There's a warning triangle that's stowed in a canvas bag, or a sort of a rubber bag under the glove box. here in the back and the grate right behind the seat, or whatever assault rifle of choice you might use. So make no mistake, this is not the cushy S-Class like poser G-Wagons you see driving around Miami Beach or Carmel, California. This is weapons grade. A little bit more wind noise than in a Lexus. But I'm doing about 105, 108 kilometers per hour, which is, 65 miles an hour maybe just under. Just cruising along. Like I usually do after these test drives, I'm going to go out and take all the photos for this one. I'm going to try to put the soft sides of the back up, give you a view inside. So I'll record a little bit longer here for you, but it's kind of a boring drive on a 45 mile per hour, 50 mile per hour road. Here we are at 60, there's 80 kilometers, still pulling third gear, 90 kilometers per hour, revving high, here's 100, shift into fourth gear right there. There's no tachometer in here, but the engine lets you know what it's doing. This is the same 2.3 liter motor that you would have had in some of the 190Es of the mid-80s. I think they even brought E-classes into the United States with the 2.3 liter fuel-injected engine. They definitely had them in Europe. It was a much more popular engine in Europe because, they don't mind four cylinders, or they didn't mind four cylinders back then. It seems the Americans always want at least 6 or more. Really well-behaved truck. When I come to a stop at a stop sign or a stoplight, initially I kept thinking that the engine was dying, or that it was stalling and dying, because it is so quiet when it's idling and so smooth. About 88 or 89 kilometers per hour. And I think I read in my old brochure, I have a brochure for European spec G-Wagons from 1980. And I think they said the top speed of this vehicle was about 89 miles per hour. 70 seems like plenty to me. It's really a lot happier at 60 or under, 65. It gets a lot more quiet in here when you're not doing over 100 kilometers per hour. I'll just shut the video off. You can have a look at all the photos. It's a pretty cool machine.